Welcome to Pumpkin Spice Podcast. It's a seasonal treat for fans of horror films. And my name's Rob Schulte, and with me, not as always, but this episode, and possibly more, we'll get into that later, is my good friend Brittany. Hi, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany. Hi.
I just reversed the words I said, and it means something completely different.
I've embraced it.
Okay, well then, way to go. I'm so proud of you. So listeners of the show may know that generally I'm talking with my good buddy Graham Young. Different than Brittany's brother, Graham High. So
let's
don't
leave
be
him
confused.
out of this.
Okay. People will know soon enough. But Graham has got a lot of stuff going on in Austin right now. Brittany, you knows Graham as well as I do, but he works for Austin Public Access, and he is a part of the Austin Film Society, and he's working on a movie, and he's got this cool job.
Didn't he move to Austin because of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I think that is a very, very big part of it. I see you might have listened to past episodes.
I have.
To hear the rest of this story, may I direct you last week or the week before, whenever we were talking about that episode. But yeah, so Graham's still going to be here, but sometimes he's not. And you have happily taken the reins, have you not?
Yeah, I do not have a gun to my head.
Okay, thank God. But
blinking
maybe
twice.
You could give us a little background on how we've worked together in the audio world.
Oh, yeah. Rob and I work together in the audio world very well. Let's just start off with that. I didn't have anything prepared. We do a podcast together, yet to be unreleased, but maybe by the time that this airs, will it be released?
I don't know by the time this episode airs.
Keep me on my toes and stuff.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of acting and directing and such together, and we've worked on different audio projects. But yeah, I think we'll save till the end to talk about this yet-to-be-released show, because
For sure.
let's build some anticipation.
For sure.
Give the public what they want.
But in bits and pieces, so they keep them wanting more.
Always more, always lasting. But this is the sort of thing. It used to be a seasonal show. I keep it in the intro, but now we're just trying to keep the fires burning here, and let's keep the show going.
Totally.
So, Britt, with that, let's get into what we're going to talk about this week. Our relationships with horror films.
Our respective relationships to horror films. Yes.
Well, I don't know what I'm on, but this looks pretty creepy. Spoopy.
I think about it in terms of like science fiction when I watch horror movies.
Oh.
But maybe that's the way all people do. Like, they can be scary, but at the same time,
Speak
it's
for
like
yourself.
nowhere believable for me. So it's just a fun romp, especially when they're lower on the budgeted end.
Oh, yeah. The low budge is the way to go, in my opinion.
Well, and especially when it's like low budge and like a lot of things have to be improvised or sacrifices have to be made. So it just feels like you are kind of a fly on the wall of that movie.
You're like, I just walked into something, and I don't know if you realize, but I'm watching. Was I supposed to be sitting here?
Hey, guys, I'm just going to hang in the back and just observe.
Don't mind me.
It's like when you're those weird times when you're sitting at school and like the administrator comes over and they're just like, just go about your business, 14-year-olds. I'm here to observe.
Yeah. Act completely natural.
We know what's going on if we're not polite. Teacher's going to just assign more homework.
Totally, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're 14.
Ugh. Okay, Brittany, what's your relationship with horror movies?
It's fraught.
Oh, really?
It's complicated. I'll watch horror movies like with my friends at other people's pressure. And then I'll be like, have a nightmare for a week. And people are like, well, maybe just don't do it anymore. And I'm like, I like the pain. You know what I mean? It keeps me fresh. No, it's shaved years off of my life is what I meant to say. But the horror movies are fun. But I think that unlike you who can, put it in its place, that it's like, this isn't real life. I believe it's my real life. And
It
it's
is your
happening
real life.
directly
It is.
to me. Yes.
A lot of people might think, Brittany, that may not make you suitable to host this show, but I think it makes you perfect for the show because you are going to be in fear the whole time you're recording.
Yeah. you will be able to hear the fear in my voice. And I think that makes me qualified.
Heightened turmoil.
Exactly. But, if that doesn't make me qualified, like, what are anybody going to do about it? It's like, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
that's the requirement for the job.
I think what we can really get down to here is that it doesn't have to be horror movies. It can be spooky stuff in general. Like what people will find out later, we have an affinity for television. And I think television Halloween-related material is always fun to talk about.
Definitely. The Halloween episodes of shows are always just like, that spooky. You're like, wait, are Corey and Topanga really broken up? Is he really a werewolf? But
that's the best thing. I'm glad you brought up Boy Meets World and the werewolf episode, because is there a point in time where the people in this show actively think werewolves exist?
Well, and also it's like, there's always those reference episodes of, so many shows, and they're kind of the worst episodes where they're just like, remember when we went on the road trip? And then there's a clip from the road trip episode. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But they never talk about the weird thing that happened in the Halloween episode.
I feel like the Halloween episodes almost always have to end with someone waking up as if it were all a nightmare.
Yeah. It's all
and there's
just
the trope of the reminder of the wolf hair on the pillow or something.
Yeah. Ooh, damn, you should write this stuff. You got the formula down.
I think when we were working on fairy tale problems together, it was funny when Tiana had brought up that the same script on the Boy Meets World Halloween episode was used in Dinosaurs.
That is so strange. I forgot about that, and I'm mind blown about it.
Maybe we'll have to use those on bonus episodes in the future. Those
totally.
Comparing and contrasting with very detailed notes.
Yes. Well, I'm good for it.
You know what I like to do? Take notes while having fun.
Yes.
Where are you going?
It's happening, just like she said.
Interestingly enough, I am moving soon, and I found an old book that is now on my recording desk that I am very excited to read because I have not been able to dive into it yet, and it kind of got lost in the shuffle, but it is Lisa Morton's Ghosts, A Haunted History.
Ooh, spooky.
Paperback came out very recently. Let me just give you this little pull quote from the back of the book.
Please do.
This is from Rue Morgue magazine. The perfect companion for those who err towards skepticism over embellishment, yet still find themselves riddled with goose pimples when they hear a creak in the floorboards in the dead of night.
I was like, don't you hate it when people say goose pimples? So gross.
Yes, that was my next thought. It's I get what you're saying here, Rue Morgue magazine, but goose pimples? Is that easier to say than goosebumps? Or are they avoiding goosebumps because that might be a registered trademark now in the book industry?
You'll have to pry goosebumps from my cold, dead hands.
God damn it. Yep, because goose pimples and goosebumps are much like firearms, highly, highly debated in this country.
That's right. Speaking of goosebumps, though, since you brought it up, that also was too scary for me. I remember the one where the little girl got trapped in her dollhouse and she just had to live in the dollhouse forever, I guess.
Oh my God.
It was one of those things where it's I was so scared. My mom was like, well, then you're not allowed to watch those anymore. I was like, well,
wow.
Did it to myself. And you know what? Maybe that was an Are You Afraid of the Dark? Also too scary.
Yeah, I think it might be. But did you ever read the Goosebumps books?
Yes.
Or was that off the list? Oh, yeah.
Well, that was off the list after a while. But yeah, I had my fair share of Goosebumps.
You're I really didn't read that many Goosebumps because I felt like Night of Living Dummy series was getting a bit derivative.
Totally.
How many of those do we need?
It's the same thing. They're just cranking out. They're just duping. Is that thing?
Yeah, I think so. But I read them for an extended period of time in my youth. I think I only ever read a handful of them, but they had that sort of collector's vibe to get children addicted soon. Everyone had a number, and you couldn't miss out on one of the numbers.
Addicted to Goosebumps.
R.L. Stine also wrote young adult novels, and I only ever read one of those, and I'm not going to be able to remember what it was, but it was your standard I Know What You Did Last Summer episodes. You know, they hit someone and then the dead body comes back. I don't exactly know. You know what we should do?
What?
Brittany, stop me if this is too much.
I will never stop you. I just will let you go and go and go. Just live your dream.
I think that after we get through with the pre-recorded Chucky episodes that Graham and I did, you and I should do I Know What You Did Last Summer, the series.
I would love to.
I mean, I know there's 2, but is there 3?
This was your idea! What?
Hey!
There is 3.
Oh my goodness.
Did you know there's one in 2006?
What? That's too recent.
I know. Okay, so I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1997. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, 1998. I'll always know what you did last summer, 2006.
I mean, and it's also, is it still like the previous summer though? Like, is this all shot, you know, within a year of the summer?
Maybe let's see here. I'll always know what you did last summer. A group of teenagers in Colorado, so not a beachfront villa, find themselves being stalked and killed one by one by a mysterious figure with a hook, exactly 1 year after they covered up a friend's accidental death. Let's read I Know What You Did Last Summer. After an accident on a winding road, 4 teens make a fatal mistake of dumping their victim's body into sea. But exactly 1 year later, the dead man returns from his watery grave, and he's looking for more than an apology.
Yeah, I would too. I'd be like, sorry doesn't cut it.
Yeah, I think that I'll always know what you did last summer could be a reboot.
Well, I'm down.
Let's talk about the Chucky series, because that's coming up next week. And I'll tell you, I have a lot of thoughts that our listeners will hear as we go through. But did you have any first impressions or lasting impressions on the Chucky series, Child's Play?
Yes, when I was, this is probably also part of my relationship to horror movies, but when I saw like too many horror movies when I was like under the age of like 5. And so that's like an age that you don't know how to like separate reality from television, or you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you're like, I'm aware that's not very deep. I just want to be understood. But no, it is. I watched Chucky, one of the Chuckies, not sure which, haven't revisited. I don't want to go back, but I will for this podcast. I am victimizing myself.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
You saying the word Chucky sent a chill up my spine, but also now I'm just changing the subject, but Rugrats named their kid Chucky, and he has red hair and he looks like Chucky. Like, don't you think?
Oh, God. He does. I mean, he's got the freckles.
Yes. Red hair.
Although
and
I will say a striking difference would be that Chucky from Rugrats is frightened, and Chucky from the Child's Play series is frightening.
I think you're going to say Chucky from Rugrats has glasses. So
that's that too.
Striking difference. Okay.
This is going to be redundant because I say it in the episode, but it spans like 3 decades. So you've got your 80s and like up to 90 of Child's Play 1, 2, 3. And then you've got Bride of Chucky right in the middle of new metal 90s. And then in 2004, you get Seed of Chucky. 2013, you get The Curse of Chucky. In 2017, just last year, you get Cult of Chucky. And now there's going to be a TV series, but we talk about that down the line.
That sounds terrifying. So much material to scream about.
Think about all of the fashion choices that changed through this series. The soundtracks and fashion is probably the thing to really pay attention to, because it goes off in some odd directions.
We should do a spinoff of just the fashion.
If anyone's wanting it, we'll throw it in one of the bonus episodes. You can find this on Patreon at Pumpkin Spice Podcast. Now, Britt, I'm pulling up my spreadsheet.
Hold on, I'm pulling up my spreadsheet.
I made a promise to one of our $5 donors that since he was first, he could choose our first like proper bonus episode. And at this point, we've already released it. But the official bonus episode for this upcoming Sunday is going to be on a movie called The Nest from 1988.
Tell me about it.
All right, now Wikipedia puts The Nest as an American creature feature horror film based on the novel by Eli Cantor under the pseudonym Gregory A. Douglas. From Roger Corman's Concord Pictures and producer Julia Corman. What? Okay, just let's get to The Nest, okay? The tagline is, roaches have never tasted flesh. Until now.
Ew.
Flesh-eating zombie-like mutant cockroaches terrorize a peaceful island community presented as a New England fishing village. However, the film was created on location at Bronson Caves, Bronson Canyon, Griffith Park, Los Angeles, as well as Malibu. Anyway, what we're saying is it's supposed to be in New England, and it is definitely not shot in New England. Plot summary: the sheriff of the small island town called Northport has a roach problem in his house. According to the local exterminator, Homer, played by Stephen Davies, it turns out the whole town is about to have a big roach problem. Pets and then people begin to disappear. Wow, I'm not going to read any further. Are you ready to watch The Nest?
I'm terrified, and yes.
Northport, the new yuppie heaven.
But I think we got some business to take care of.
Let's handle it.
Okay, this show has a Patreon. Patreon.com/Pumpkin Spice Podcast. You can support us for a few dollars, or you can pay $5 and get these bonus apps that we're talking about. Who doesn't want that?
I can't think of a single person.
Okay, so tell your family, tell your friends, because I think we're likable hosts here. If they don't want to do that, they can leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That's totally cool. And some people, get this, Britt, don't even like doing that. Can you believe it?
That's barely any effort
They're
involved.
leaving a footprint. They're leaving an internet footprint by doing it, you know?
It's free.
I know. But in the case that they don't feel comfortable leaving a rating and review, you know what they can do?
Send me a telegram.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore.
No, they can just tell a friend. Text it. Be like, hey, stumbled upon this show that is going through hosts like nobody's business. But it's
Oh my
good.
gosh,
It's
wouldn't
quality.
this be such a great plot twist if, like, I mean, I hope Graham's totally fine, like healthy and stuff. But wouldn't it be great if, like, he was murdered and this is actually turned into the plot of a horror movie that's a podcast and the hosts one by one get murdered?
I think you've got a good movie on your hands, and maybe we can try and sell it. Okay, so that's the cleaning of the house.
I think they're gonna like it for sure.
And let's get frightened. We'll see you all in the bonus episodes and next week.